Scary telling. I sit against a shelf, my back aching, my mind teetering on the edge of sanity. The air in this room reeks of despair and decay, as if the very walls have absorbed the hopelessness that permeates our existence. I yearn for an escape, for a release from this torment. The fumes, toxic and acrid, offer a fleeting respite, a temporary solace that whispers of a more pleasant death. And then, amidst the groans of our broken hull, I hear it, a faint tapping sound that lingers in the air like a haunting melody. At first, it blends seamlessly with the noise of this forsaken place, hardly distinguishable from the howling of the abyss surrounding us. But with each passing moment, it grows louder, more insistent, until it demands my attention. I strain my ears, desperately trying to make sense of this ominous intrusion. The tapping reverberates through the room, a rhythm that resonates deep within my bones. Fear grips me, my heart pounding in my chest, as I realize that someone, or something, is approaching our door. But how can that be? We are trapped in the depths of the ocean, far beyond the reach of any living soul. The realization dawns on me, casting a shroud of unease over my fragile sanity. I cannot fathom the possibility of another human being existing in this desolate abyss, where the crushing weight of the ocean would render them naught but a lifeless corpse. Yet, the tapping persists, growing louder and more distinct until it becomes unmistakable, the click of dressed shoes against the cold metal floor. My companions, Faisal and Mikey, exchange bewildered glances, mirroring my own confusion and dread. We huddle closer together, seeking solace in our shared vulnerability. The sound draws nearer, inching closer to our door, as if it holds an insidious intention, a purpose that remains elusive. And then, as if in response to our unspoken apprehension, a voice permeates the air, dripping with honeyed deceit. It is a voice that feigns reason and promises salvation, a voice that masks the horrors that await us on the other side. Hello, it beckons, its tone almost jovial. Anyone alive in there? I blink, my mind reeling with disbelief. Faisal stands, his gaze fixed on me, a mixture of confusion and cautious hope etched on his face. He musters his voice, his words betraying a glimmer of desperate anticipation. Yes, he calls out, his voice trembling. Yes, there are 3 of us. Are you part of a rescue? Did you receive our distress signal? The man's laughter, mellow and mocking, fills the void that separates us. Ah, he chuckles, his words laced with a hint of sadistic delight. Your distress, something like that. He sighs, his voice dripping with malice. And here's some good news for you, gentlemen. This rescue has secured this part of the ship. All you have to do is open the door, and you'll be home free. His words hang in the air, pregnant with treachery. I cannot bring myself to believe his claims, to trust the honeyed promises that spill from his lips. My heart pounds erratically in my chest, a sense of impending doom settling over me like a suffocating shroud. Silence engulfs us, the weight of our decision heavy in the air. The man's voice echoes in my mind, urging us to open the door and embrace the uncertain fate that awaits us beyond. But deep down, I know that the only thing that awaits us out there is a painful death, a fate far worse than the captivity that holds us within these walls. No, a new voice suddenly breaks the silence, cutting through the tension like a knife. Mikey, his voice laced with weariness and anger, steps forward. His stance is unsteady, as if the weight of our confinement has taken its toll on his weary soul. You beast, he mutters, his words a defiant proclamation. Mikey's resolve emboldens me, fueling a flicker of defiance within my own trembling heart. Together, we stand united against the malevolence that lurks beyond the door, the promise of rescue tainted by the horrors that we have witnessed. But even as our defiance burns bright, I cannot shake the gnawing fear that lingers within me. The tapping continues outside, a constant reminder of the unknown horrors that lie in wait. How much longer can we endure in this desolate tomb? How much longer until our fragile sanity shatters under the weight of this harrowing existence? I glance at Faisal, his face etched with uncertainty and fear. The fumes taunt us, their toxic allure whispering of escape. In this moment, as the strange noises from the outside grow louder, I can only hope that the fumes will deliver a merciful end, sparing us from the terrors that lurk just beyond our reach. The room is thick with anticipation as Mikey's words hang in the air, a declaration of defiance against the insidious visitor. Time seems to stretch, each second an eternity as we wait for a response, for any sign of what lies beyond that door. The weight of the moment settles heavily upon us, mingling with the acrid stench that permeates the room. The atmosphere crackles with tension, the air electric with a sense of foreboding. And then it happens, the door, once thought impenetrable, begins to creak open. Slowly, deliberately, it reveals the inky darkness that awaits us, as if taunting our curiosity with the unknown horrors that lie in wait. My heart races, the steady rhythm of my pulse reverberating in my ears. The air outside is still, almost unnaturally so, devoid of the turbulent currents that should accompany life beneath the sea. As the door swings wider, the grotesque sight that greets our eyes is beyond comprehension. There, standing before us, is a figure with a face that defies all semblance of humanity. Its features are twisted and distorted, as if melting under the weight of its own malevolence. Bloated with oozing blood, its skin stretches taut, resembling a macabre mask of horror. The stench of decay hangs heavy in the air, mingling with the saltwater and putridity of our surroundings. Tentacles sprout from the creature's back, writhing and flickering into the dark abyss below. They seem to stretch for unfathomable leagues, disappearing into the impenetrable depths of the sea. I feel a wave of revulsion wash over me, my instinctual fight or flight response screaming at me to run, to escape this abomination before us. But Mikey, fueled by a potent mix of exhaustion and rage, stands tall, defying the very laws of logic and reason. In an act of defiance that mirrors the determination in his eyes, he spits in the creature's eye, a gesture of contempt that defies the horrors that confront us. A deafening scream erupts from the creature, a sound that tears through the confines of our confined space. It reverberates in my skull, the sheer intensity of it threatening to shatter my fragile sanity. A blinding white light engulfs us, searing my vision and enveloping my senses in a disorienting assault. In that moment of chaos and blinding brilliance, time loses all meaning. It feels as if the very fabric of reality is unraveling, leaving us suspended in a void of uncertainty. And then, as swiftly as it arrived, the blinding light dissipates, revealing a disheartening truth. We remain beneath the water, the door once again closed, sealing us within our watery tomb. Mikey collapses to the ground, his strength drained by the ordeal and the transformation that has taken hold of him. He gasps for breath, his body convulsing with each ragged inhalation. The putrid yellow spittle, reminiscent of the creature's glowing eyes, oozes from his mouth, a vile testament to the malevolence that has taken root within him. Despair settles over us like a suffocating shroud. We are trapped, not only by the depths of the sea, but by the presence of something otherworldly, something that defies all rationality and comprehension. The weight of our existence presses down upon us, and I cannot help but wonder how much longer we can endure in this relentless purgatory. The strange noises from outside persist, growing louder and more disconcerting. Each sound serves as a chilling reminder of the horrors that lurk just beyond our reach, amplifying the claustrophobic confines of our prison. The fumes that once held a glimmer of escape now mock us, their toxic allure serving as a cruel reminder that death may be the only liberation from this aquatic nightmare. As I sit against the shelf, my body weary and my mind teetering on the precipice of madness, I can't help but hope that the fumes will envelop me, offering a final respite from the horrors that surround us. How much longer can we endure? How much longer until the tides of fate deliver their final verdict? Only time and the unrelenting depths of this watery abyss hold the answers that elude us. Despair seeps into every crevice of our existence, enveloping us in its suffocating grip. We find ourselves trapped in a desolate realm of uncertainty, where the boundaries of reality blur and the confines of our watery tomb press upon our fragile sanity. Mikey, weakened and transformed by the encounter, lies sprawled on the cold, metal floor. His breathing is labored, his gasps echoing through the stagnant air. The putrid yellow spittle, a vile testament to the inhuman presence that has taken hold of him, oozes from his mouth. It glows with an otherworldly radiance, a sickly reminder of the abomination that haunts our every thought. The strange and haunting noises from outside continue their assault on our senses, growing louder and more disconcerting with each passing moment. They echo through the confines of our prison, twisting and warping into an unholy chorus that further frays the edges of our sanity. The air is pregnant with their ominous presence, pressing against our eardrums like a constant reminder of the horrors that lurk just beyond our reach. I cast my gaze toward Faisal, his eyes filled with weariness and fear. The weight of our circumstances bears down upon him, etching lines of despair into his weary face. We are adrift in an unfathomable abyss, both physically and mentally, left to grapple with the haunting reality of our existence. Doubt gnaws at the edges of my thoughts. Are these noises figments of our shattered minds, manifestations of our own unraveling sanity? Or are they twisted echoes of an external presence, a malevolence that revels in our torment? The fumes that once offered a glimmer of escape now take on a sinister quality. They linger in the air, mocking us with their toxic allure. We contemplate the potential mercy they may hold, the oblivion they promise. But even in the depths of our despair, a flicker of hope remains, a desperate, fragile ember that refuses to be extinguished. Yet, as the noises from outside grow louder, their dissonant symphony eroding the remnants of our hope, I question how much longer we can withstand this relentless assault on our senses. The walls of our confinement close in, each passing moment chipping away at our dwindling resolve. It feels as if we are teetering on the precipice of oblivion, a hair's breadth away from surrendering to the maddening darkness that engulfs us. I clutch my head, my fingers tangling in my matted hair, as if trying to anchor myself in this nightmarish reality. The boundaries between hallucination and truth blur, leaving me adrift in a sea of uncertainty. How can we distinguish between what is real and what is merely a product of our tortured minds? The haunting abyss that surrounds us whispers its secrets, its malevolence seeping into the very fabric of our being. We are caught in a merciless dance with a nameless horror, its tendrils extending beyond the physical, snaking their way into the darkest recesses of our souls. I steal a glance at Mikey, his visage contorted with anguish. He bears the weight of the abomination that has taken hold of him, a constant reminder of the tenuous grasp we have on our own humanity. The putrid spittle, that sickly yellow glow, serves as a harbinger of the inhuman fate that awaits us all. The haunting noises crescendo, their cacophony reaching a fever pitch, as if mocking our feeble attempts to cling to sanity. They echo through the chamber, reverberating off the cold, metal walls, threatening to consume us entirely. Howls of despair mingle with whispers of madness, a symphony of torment that pierces the very depths of our battered souls. In the face of this relentless onslaught, I find myself gripping onto that final ember of hope. It flickers and wanes, threatened by the encroaching darkness, but I refuse to let it fade. We may be trapped, tormented by forces beyond our comprehension, but the flame of resilience still burns within us. How long can we endure? Only time will tell as we continue to navigate this endless nightmare beneath the water's surface.